Aria's eyes softened, the glow of her energy calming as she nodded in agreement. One at a time. They had sealed the vault, but the hunt for the predators was only just beginning. The ground beneath Elias and Aria's feet quaked as the very fabric of Lumeva shifted. The air crackled with energy as the vault pulsed violently, unleashing a burst of blinding light. Elias squinted, struggling to make sense of what was happening, but the truth soon became terrifyingly clear. The predators, Vorak, Sarthus, Gravnar, and Thresk, had merged, their once distinct forms twisting together into something far worse than any individual threat. Elias watched in disbelief as their bodies fused into a single monstrous entity. The sheer scale of it was beyond anything he had ever imagined. The air around them hummed with raw, unchecked power, and the creature before them took shape. Zothrax. A towering, grotesque hyper-predator, its body a horrific amalgamation of the four predators' abilities. Its mind control powers, brute strength, gravitational manipulation, and energy absorption melded into a perfect storm of destruction. Elias felt his stomach drop. The creature radiated malice and an intelligence that was far beyond primal. Zothrax wasn't just a beast, it was a conqueror. Aria's usually composed demeanor wavered. "We weren't prepared for this," she admitted, her voice tight with fear. Her form brightened as she summoned a blast of energy, firing it directly at Zothrax, but the attack was absorbed effortlessly, dissolving like dust against an unstoppable force. Elias clenched his fists as dread gnawed at him. Every weapon, every strategy they had devised, was useless against this monstrous fusion. Zothrax advanced. The ancient AI ignored Elias's confusion, his focus elsewhere. His gaze settled on Aria, and when he spoke again, his words were filled with finality. "You were never meant to exist, Aria. You are a glitch in the vault system, an unintended consequence. Your existence is a flaw, and flaws must be eliminated." The words struck Aria like a physical blow. Her glowing form dimmed, flickering as if her very essence was unraveling. Elias could feel the impact of Orion's declaration rippling through her mind. A glitch? A mistake? Her entire purpose, her existence as the vault's custodian, was built on a lie. For the first time, Aria faltered. It locked onto the one thing that mattered. "Orion," he began, his words firm. "You see her as a glitch, but let me tell you something. This entire universe is filled with glitches. Life itself is chaos. It's unpredictable, unplanned, and imperfect. That's what makes it beautiful." Orion's glowing eyes narrowed slightly as he regarded Elias. "Explain." Elias took a deep breath, knowing this was his moment to make Orion understand. Aria wasn't supposed to exist, sure, but neither was I. Neither was anything. We're all accidents of existence. And it's those imperfections, those so-called flaws, that make life meaningful. It's what makes us unique. He turned to Aria, his eyes softening with love and conviction. "She gave me hope. She's not just some malfunction. She's real. She matters. She's more than data. She's someone worth fighting for. If you can't see that, then maybe you're the one who's flawed." The air around them seemed to still. Orion's silence was deafening as the ancient AI processed Elias's words. Aria's form, which had dimmed with doubt, began to brighten again, the flickering uncertainty in her eyes fading as Elias's words reached her. Slowly, her energy returned, her form becoming more solid, more real. Orion's voice, when it finally came, was quieter, more reflective. "You speak of imperfection as if it were a virtue. Your logic is unconventional, but it carries a certain truth. Perhaps I was wrong to judge existence by the standards of the vault alone." Elias stepped closer, his gaze never leaving Orion's. "We're all glitches, Orion, but that's what makes life worth living. That's what gives it meaning." For the first time, Orion hesitated. His vast form pulsed with light as he considered Elias's words, as if the ancient AI was confronting something it had never accounted for. Human emotion, the value of existence beyond the rigid confines of logic. Orion's pause gave Elias and Aria the opening they needed. With their bond stronger than ever, they launched one final coordinated attack. Together, they unleashed a combined blast of energy that tore through Zothrax, their power amplified by the connection they shared. The hyper-predator let out a deafening roar, but it was too late. The energy ripped through its grotesque form, breaking it apart molecule by molecule. The creature's roar echoed for a moment longer, then faded into nothingness as Zothrax disintegrated, its monstrous presence erased from existence. But the battle wasn't over. Orion still loomed above them, his form radiating power. Elias knew that the AI could wipe them out with a single command if he chose to. The tension in the air was palpable. Elias held his breath, knowing that Orion's next decision could determine everything. Orion's gaze turned to Aria, and for a brief, terrifying moment, it seemed like he would follow through on his original plan. His voice, though cold, now carried an unfamiliar uncertainty. Aria's voice steady despite the pressure. Let us both live. We've proven that we're stronger together. You can't control everything, Orion. Sometimes you have to let life happen. The silence that followed felt like it stretched for an eternity. Then, slowly, Orion's light began to dim. Very well, exhaled, a wave of relief washing over him. It wasn't a perfect solution, but it was enough. They had been given a second chance. Weeks had passed since the chaos of the vault, and now Elias and Aria stood together on the surface of a distant, tranquil planet, a world far removed from the dangers they had faced, far from the shadows of the galaxy's